Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, once again, it's showtime! I guess. Just doing some leveling tonight. Later on, I'll be joining Engelbert Meow and her stream of the Guild Wars, not Guild Wars, the ArenaNet 25-year retrospective. But that's not for 2 hours and 2 minutes. So I'll raid her once. Get started. Let me go ahead and come over here and actually. I guess we'll wait. Fine, we'll wait. Never mind. Just never mind. Okay. We'll be playing Winvar Windchaser. She will be eventually an evoker. I wanted her to be an air-based evoker. We'll see if that works out. My understanding is the fire one just got nerfed to crap. I was talking and didn't remove my face.
Welcome to our little corner of the world.
Why is that not showing anything? Why is that not showing anything? Why is that not showing anything? Give me a minute to figure out why things are not working as they should be. It was working a minute ago. Hello, and welcome back yet again. Why no worky? I do not understand-y. That works. Streamlabs, what the bleep are you doing? Give me a second. I'm trying to get things working in a correct and appropriate fashion. I have no idea why it's not showing up in my standard mode. It was showing up before I exited to full face and back. It was working correctly. Why it's not working now, I have no idea. I will not spend any more time on it. I will instead just go into screen echo mode for my monitor. I normally don't use that. I prefer to use the application window. Seriously, though. It's still not working. I have no idea. None. I've logged in, though. Hi, guys. A little irked, gotta admit. I mean, all I did, literally, was go to full face and the starting Zoom screen, and then when I selected those, it was gone. You guys broke it. I'm blaming you. Can't be my fault.
Fitting reward.
Where are we here? This character is grabbing fire first because fire is good. All right. I think we finished map completion on Wayfarer Foothills. We did. Did we do any of the other starting maps? Probably not, but possibly. No, I'm going to do Queensdale. Which is generally how I level up. I do map completions, one map at a time. I don't do the whole map, but I do individual maps. Aha! The new hero jumpstart boost is running. Leveling will be quick. But quick is good. But you know what's better?
Let me guess.
Quicker. Wrong button. Right button. I will grab myself another boost. The birthday boosters, because I have like 300 of them. This is what happens when you have as many characters as me. They all have birthdays. They I'll give birthday boosters on those birthdays. I'm not complaining. I am merely stating that I have a lot. You can see here I have 312. Which means that my characters have had 312 birthdays in total. Must have gotten some from other places as well, because I don't think I have that many character birthdays, that many years worth of characters. I don't think I have 300. I mean, I have 45 characters, but that would be like 8 years per character. And my oldest characters are 13 years, but my youngest are like a year or less, so they haven't picked up any yet. So it's just going to be kind of an easy, low-energy stream. Oh, they must have just killed the queen. Worm, because the cows are coming home. Fortunately, I can still dance with the cows. It remembers me. Did I not get that one? There we go. I didn't get that one. You can tell a true hero because we dance with cows. Not wolves. Cows. Generally, when I'm leveling up, I will do 2 or 3 of the starting areas. But certainly leveling is going to go faster. Hello there. Welcome. Good evening, or possibly morning, or even afternoon. I try not to judge people on the basis of whether the sun is out and where it is in the sky. I'm very egalitarian that way. I think one more worm. And burn. Give me a heart. Hey. I have played a lot of games. Before this one, clearly the one I played the most was WoW and LATRO as well. A lot of MMOs. Once I got into MMOs, I played a lot of trying to remember what else I was playing besides MMOs when this one came out 13 years ago, whatever it was. And I can't remember off the top of my head, other than I can safely say I was probably playing one of the Civilization games because I've kind of played all of those. Well, at least up until the latest one.
The spoils of battle.
Intermittently. I played, I did on and off for 2 months with the Legion remix, as I really enjoyed the Pandaria remix. I played some of each of the last 2 releases, but not extensively, like maybe 2 months each at launch.
Another place.
So I'm definitely not a WoW hater by any means. It has strengths. It has weaknesses. I still enjoy the sort of the leveling grind, the power up that you get when there's a new a new max level and the new gear grind, all that stuff, it still works for me. I still enjoy that. I just don't enjoy it as obsessively as I did then. Let's see. Back then, I was also playing every time there was a new season for Diablo 3. I was still playing all of those. Playing, a lot of single-player games when one came out that was interesting for me. At that same time, actually, I was writing a blog for, I don't know, like 4 months, something like that. A couple times a week, 2 or 3 times a week on MMOs. That's where I get the magnifying lens name from. And that I was known to most of my online friends as Lens, and therefore I named my blog Magnifying Lens on MMOs. You see, it's like I'm taking a magnifying lens and I'm examining them. And yeah. But it was a lot of work, truth be told. Writing 3 times a week for some amount of stuff was honestly surprisingly tiring. But that was an interesting time because Guild Wars 2 went into its beta. And also in beta at that time was The Secret World, which I also played in beta. I played both of those in beta, and they both came out at about the same time. And there were a bunch of other games that were still in the pipe that were looking good. There were a lot of MMOs that were being worked on and were promising. Sadly, a lot of them never came out, and those that did, most of the time, were not particularly successful or memorable. But as an example, I have about 6,000 hours each in WoW and Lord. So a lot of my gaming time back then was spent in those 2 games. No, I'm leveling up another alt. So I'm running around in one of the starting areas. Character is level 21. I finished off the map in one starting area. I normally will do a couple of the starting maps to completion for leveling. 10k plus hours? Yep. I'm not surprised. As someone with more than 6, I know how effective it can be. Why am I picking up the apples? Supposed to have apples? Not supposed to have apples. The event's not going on. Well, I would say, first of all, now is a good time to try, as we just had an expansion. And the base game is free. Now, the limitations are you can only have 2 characters. You can only have so many bags for your inventory. There are some other limitations. Stuff to reduce the number of bots who would be playing. But it is... The original game, as it launched, is free. With some additional stuff, too. Yeah, if you have any questions about it, feel free to ask. I always enjoy talking about games that I love, and I love this game. It drives me crazy sometimes. But then the same was true for, wow, Lord of the Rings Online. Nobody plays thousands of hours in a game without having it drive them crazy sometimes. There is a pistol wielder. Pistols are used by about half a dozen of the classes. Most notably, you can have an engineer, which is pistols, and they can do pistol, and they also have one of their specialties being kits, which allow them to completely change their default weapons and skills with like a flamethrower, a bag of grenades, a mortar. The other option for pistol specifically would be thief. And there are two very different builds that you can make with pistol thief, and it's a very strong build.
Need to rest.
I'm pretty sure you can do sword pistol. Pretty sure, not like 1,000%. Yeah, you can do sword pistol. One of the mechanics that Thief has is if you're going with a main hand and an offhand. Normally, I'm currently wielding a staff. So on an elementalist like this, a staff is a two-handed weapon, and a two-handed weapon is the 1 through 5 buttons. But if you're wielding two one-handed weapons, the main hand is the 1 through 3 buttons, and the offhand is the 4 and 5 buttons. So depending on what you're wielding, your skills will look different. One of the traits that is unique to the thief profession or class is that if you're wielding two one-hand weapons, the 3 skill will vary depending on the combination. So instead of having, sword stab, shoot, you would have sword stab, and then something that's a combo of shooting and stabbing, say. And it would be different if you had a dagger and a pistol. But I'm like 99% sure that you can go sword pistol.
By Raven, there's no end to Tyria.
Pistol's one of those weapons that can be either main hand or offhand. There are some weapons that are only offhand, and some others that are only main hand, and some of those can depend on which profession you're in. The skills, the 1 through 5 skills, are dependent not just on the weapon, but also on the profession or class.
I need some backup.
So, a two-handed sword wielded by a guardian, which is sort of paladin-esque, it's a melee weapon. You jump into combat with it, you swing it around, you do a lot of damage. On a mesmer, which is sort of like an illusionist, they can wield a great sword too, but it's a ranged weapon. They use to project illusions that do damage. The talent tree equivalent, it sort of has multiple systems. I'll show you real quick. As you gain hero points by leveling up, you'll spend initially a lot of them here. This gives you additional skills that will go in your 6 through 0 slot, 6 through 10. When you reach level 21, you can start putting them into specializations. Specializations are passives. These are skills. These are passives. Eventually, you can open up the elite specializations. And so what these are here is less of like a weapon-related talent tree and more along the lines of, say, the difference between a fire mage and an arcane or frost mage. In that it kind of changes the way the class varies. Some of them will buff individual weapon skills. So, for instance, if you're playing pistol, maybe you're taking one of the skill lines, passive skill lines that increase the damage or reduce the cooldown. Cooldown reduction is a very common mechanic.
The fun's over here.
So that your skills cool down faster. Usually it's like 20%. So for instance, it's not uncommon for there to be one of those skill lines I showed, the passives, where one of the passives, say, will recharge your casting skills here. You know, the big one here has got a 30-second recharge, but it may get a 20% reduction. 20% cooldown reduction, so you can cast it a lot more often. That's where you kind of get a lot of the differentiation in builds. Buildcraft is a real thing in Guild Wars 2 because you get all these skills to choose from that can go in these slots, and you get these specializations, 5 of them, and these all go in here. And this is what I'm currently getting, the specialization for fire. And what you do is you choose one in each row, or you get the intermediate skill in between. And that's where you get a lot of buildcraft, because you can have 3 lines, and it's the interrelations between those lines which really makes a character powerful in the game. This is as close as I have to a job. I am retired. So I do this 5 or 6 times a week, most weeks. And that, in essence, it is my job. It's as close as I have to a job, because I can't honestly say I have a job. I do this because I want to, because I have fun doing it. Yep. Also, I have found, as a retired guy,
Now I shall
it's nice to have some kind of structure in my life where I'm doing something every day. Otherwise, the days sort of pass like you're not even noticing. And you don't want that to happen. You actually want the days to kind of mean something. So a little bit of structure is a good thing. Sell my junk. Nope. I am not, don't need anything like that, because as I said, I just do this for myself for fun. Anyone who chooses to, missed something. Anyone who chooses to watch is great, but I've done it before when there's nobody watching. I know for a lot of people it's what they want to do full time, and I can completely understand it. I forgot to. But that's not me. That was not optimal.
I'm going to.
Grab that and back out there. Nope, this is, and I'm not kidding, one of my 45 characters on this account. I have 5 that are not at the cap. And I'm just leveling this one a little bit tonight as sort of a relaxed, no impact stream.
You're kidding.
Well, I am the GOAT. If you mean the old GOAT, then yeah, that's for sure. No, I've been playing Guild Wars 2 since the first publicly available beta. About 5,000 hours. Not quite as much as LATRO or WoW, but catching up. Now I have 40 characters at the cap on this account and 9 characters at the cap on my alt account. General consensus is I'm crazy. I'm one of those rare MMO players who enjoys leveling. I mean, years ago, I hit the cap at the time for the number of characters you could have in WoW. You used to be limited to, I don't remember, 8, I think, on any given server, and I hit the cap at the time, which was 50 characters spread across, like, 10 servers. In the vernacular of the MMO player base, I am what is referred to as an alt whore. It's not a particularly felicitous phrase, but I can't pretend it doesn't apply. And this one is going to grow up to be my evoker. Sometime in the distant future.
Alert!
And I enjoy doing map completions. Not the full map completion, although I've done that 3 times. Individual map completions is how I level. I'm talking to everybody. Whoop, alright. He's a veteran.
I'm always achieving greatness.
It's fine, I got it. Well, actually, most of the time I'm just talking to myself. So I'll sometimes have people ask me, you know, what did you mean when you said that? And I go, said what? And they have to repeat it to me. And that's not because I'm old, although I am. It's because my mouth tends to operate on its own, whether I'm paying attention or not.
Threshold achieved.
I still do play WoW. I go back. I was back for a couple months to play the Legion remix. I only got 2 or 3 characters to the cap in that time. I got 5 or 6 to the cap in the Pandaria remix. I played that a lot. I really enjoyed that. Much to my surprise, I didn't actually enjoy the Legion remix as much as I enjoyed the Pandaria. Whereas Legion is like my second favorite expansion ever. It's very different, and I can understand why some people don't like it and why other people just go bonkers for it, because so many of the fundamental mechanics of the game are different than pretty much everyone else. Now, I understand completely why games like Lord of the Rings Online, the Final Fantasy IV, A Realm Reborn, Star Wars The Old Republic, why they basically made a WoW clone. Nobody likes to call it that, but basically, they took a lot of their mechanics and stuff from WoW because it was successful, and it makes sense because it allows new players to come in if they've played WoW and just sit down and play. If you sit down and just play in Guild Wars 2 and think you're going to be understanding everything because it's got hotbars and button pressing and tab targeting if you want it, you're going to be very confused because it doesn't play the same. I was watching a streamer earlier today, Muckluck, if you're familiar with him. And he ended up his 2-day, I think 2 hours each day session with Nagura, who is a WoW streamer and comments on the race to world first and whatnot. And they were talking about how some players, or he was talking, I guess, after the stream about how some players had decided to try the game, and Summit1G, he mentioned, tried the game and said, well, I don't want to play the PvE game until I can kick ass in PvP. And this is not a game. This is the opposite of a game where you can go in and assume just because you're incredible at a boatload of other games, MMOs, whatever, that you're going to be good in PvP. This game has an absolutely murderous floor and ceiling for PvP. And so he played PvP and he got annihilated constantly. And that turned him off from the game. So, you know, it's not... The differences between this and a WoW and whatever are significant. And a player who's even, you know, god tier at other games can find themselves at a loss trying to understand it, or even more so trying to play in PvP. I'm a PvE player for sure. Far and away, it's not even close. Open world PvP is my jam, as the kids would say. Which is why I have so many characters. I enjoy some kind of motivation to play.
That's all I needed.
And leveling up a character gives me that motivation to play. And I enjoy the open world. Now, I will sometimes hop on a higher level character, completed character, and run around in the endgame maps just to play. I certainly will do that from time to time.
I need some help.
I think one of the things that ArenaNet is doing that's really smart is they're grouping people up. They're taking streamers and teaming them up with paid sessions of the game, but like they did with Muckluck, who's obviously a very experienced Guild Wars 2 player and experienced in explaining things to new players as well, and using him to help Nagura get a grip on the game, answer her questions, give her a little guidance. PvE followed by World v World. I wish I loved World v World a little bit more. I really do. I may have to play some because we currently have the celebration bonus going. And a 30% bonus in World v World is nothing to sneeze at. So I know Lara, I think, is going to be doing a couple of sessions with Annie Fuchsia. Annie Fuchsia has been playing Guild Wars 2 lately. I don't know, Zepla HQ is another previously known, at least mostly for her WoW gaming, and then Final Fantasy XIV. She's been playing Guild Wars 2 and loving it. It's just really, that's one of the reasons why I think it's a good time for any new players to hop in, because, you know, if you are used to watching content by Fuchsia or Zepla HQ, or Preach did an entire run through of Guild Wars 2 from day one to the end of all of the raids in the game and loved the game. So I think the fact that a lot of, you know, well-known, formerly just known as WoW players now, who play lots of other things as well, have come in and played and enjoyed the game, I think is a big plus. My favorite quote about this game came from Preach. If you're not familiar with him, he used to be a WoW streamer, got disenchanted with WoW, has played a whole bunch of other games. He ran all the way through in Guild Wars 2. And I don't know, it might have been after he finished the first expansion of content. He kept playing for a while. was what he said, and I'm going to quote part of it, but I think the entirety is pretty close to this, is if you are a player who enjoys playing MMOs and you're not playing Guild Wars 2, quote, you're fucking yourself, end quote.
Forsooth, you have met your match, dragon.
Now that's the kind of good advertising you really can't buy. Don't like playing PvP? Yeah, the curve, the learning curve, there's no learning curve in Guild Wars 2 PvP. It's a cliff. You've got to be good at your class to even bother playing. But you have to be good at all of the classes to be good at PvP, because you have to be able to recognize all of their skills and have the right counterplay. So you have to know every spec in the game to be good at PvP. And I'm not that. I ain't never gonna be that. Let's see, we added 2 fire auras, while at or above the might threshold is 10. I don't think I'm getting to 10, so we'll stay with it. You'll play World v World sometimes? I like it, I just wish I liked it more. I'm going to pop down here, because these are always really good XP events. I have done enough World v World to get 2 gifts of battle. Actually, more than that. I didn't realize that what I was looking for was gifts of battle, so whoops! I didn't start doing the gifts of battle until I realized that I was going to need those. Oh look, everybody died. And he's dead. That's a whole lot of dead folk. What is it? A dozen dead folk? All right, do we have any more of those events around? I do not see any of the red crossed swords. That's it, I think. You play sometimes just to get the dailies. When I'm grinding through dailies, I'm always doing the PvE ones. They're just so much more straightforward. I know how to optimal path all of those. So
there's still weapons hidden down in that armor.
all right, we did level up. That's 24. I would like power in my amulet, please. Only got into World v World for your guild. Started doing it with friends and stuff. Yeah, that is, World v World is here. Doing it with friends is here. Doing it with friends with a commander who knows what they're doing is probably up here. Now you're obsessed. You love zerging and learning the different strategies and tactics. I mostly run around either like doing Doliak escorts, hitting individual, reclaiming the map or the flags, that kind of things. Stuff that's easily soloable. Can't use. Definitely want to use.
This is most remarkable.
I have new pants. I have a little routine I do when I'm leveling up. If I get an... Wow, check out those legs. When I get an item, a new item of attire, I randomly change my dyes. Oh my god, those shoes are horrifying. We randomly change our dyes, and here we go. We have enameled brass, vista, and celestial blue. Oh my god, it made the shoes even uglier. I didn't think that was possible.
Power flow at 30%.
Pardon me, we got some high-level gear as a reward for beating the champion in that Awakened incursion. We'll sell our junk. Let's see where should we go next?
How many centaurs do
Yeah,
you
that
think
way.
you've killed?
We were already going that way, so we will continue that way. I was killing some scrit. Oh, look. More scrit. So, let's see if we can't just drop fireballs on a bunch of their heads. Oh, one of them got hit 3 times. And another one got hit once. Underwhelming. I'd like my money back.
I need some help.
We all need some help in these times. Scrit shiny things. Nothing wrong with a little cultural imperialism, you know? I'm 37% done with this map. Worldy World is certainly a great deal, a huge deal more forgiving than structured PvP. Structured PvP is... I watch it sometimes. I know, first of all, I'm not good enough to play it. And as a competitive format, I would just be a detriment to my team. And even if I was a good enough player, I don't think I know the game well enough. The amount of knowledge you have to be good at structured PvP is silly. Because you have to be able to understand everything the other guys are doing as well. Alright, who wants some barbecued ribs? I don't have any sauce, but I did make the ribs. I'm gonna chop down a tree. It got in my way. Yeah, it really is like playing a different game. You can, as a new player, I think once you hit level 2, you can go to the PvP lobby. Because it scales you up to level 80 and it normalizes all gear. So, you know, if you're an elementalist at level 2 and you go into PvP, you're suddenly a level 80 elementalist. Just for PvP, when you exit it, you're back to level 2. And you have the exact same gear as every other elementalist. And you can build your spec any way you want to. And if you're new to the game, you won't understand a fucking thing you're looking at. You won't understand the weapon abilities. You won't understand your utility skills, heal skill, elite skill, and you sure as hell won't understand anything about what makes a build good from your spec things. I played for years, and I literally didn't understand most of that stuff until I watched a series of Wooden Potato videos. Thank you, Wooden Potatoes. You are the man. On open world and storyline builds. Builds that are meant to be survivable and do good damage and basically allow you to do all of the content in the open world and in the storylines. And he explains why he builds them the way he does, and all of a sudden I was capable of making a decent build on my own, and even more so, being able to tune a good build to be one that I liked better, that I felt that I played better than I played, you know, the default version. Thank you, WP. I probably had like 600 or 800 hours in the game, and the 4,200 plus hours I have in the game since then is largely because of Wooden Potatoes. Knowing the game mechanics, understanding the game mechanics, just incredibly huge buff to understanding how to play it decently. And I'm certainly I'm not a good player, But I am probably an above average player simply because I now understand the game better. And I also know my limitations. So, for instance, I'm not going to try to play a Weaver build, an Elementalist Weaver build, that has, and this is what they actually had at one point, it had an optimal rotation of 46 key presses. The optimal rotation was 46 specific key presses. You know, I can't do the piano. I've got fat fingers. I don't have a long reach. And I'm old and not especially coordinated. So, yeah, none of those things. All of those things together mean I am not going to be playing one of the piano classes. And to be good at PvP, I think you kind of have to be at least capable of pianoing pretty hard. Glyph of Lesser Elementals. I should have that one there. And I should have it on AutoCast. So now I will, under normal circumstances, be running around with 2 or 3 elementals. And 2 or 3 is more than 1. Now this heart here is, every map has hearts that suck. And this is one of the hearts that suck on this map. Why aren't you burnt? Oh, you're floating in the water above the ground, so he didn't take any damage. Of course, I'm not sure that a fire underwater is going to do any damage in the first place, but hey. What do I have set up as my water skills? None. Let's do something about that. Elemental power, none of them are usable. Yeah, none of them are usable. Right. Yeah. I only have one skill that's usable underwater. That's disappointing. We have all 3? We have all 3! Yay! That's the advantage to the AutoCast. You don't have to continually keep checking to see if you can cast another one or not. But the scales are slow to respawn. And the other mechanic with the crab cages is just really annoying. Just need a couple more. I could kind of feel a sneeze. Ooh, we hit another level. Go us. Well, technically, go me. Alright, we got some crafting materials. We have a dagger. 245. Yeah, that one could go. Shield we can't use. Pants that aren't as good as what we're wearing. And a backpack. $171. There we go. Weird. Okay. Never mind.
Power flow at 30%. Rerouting.
Did we get one more spawn of brackish scale? Yes, we did. I think one more should do. And then we'll continue on. Yay! It's just a badly designed heart. Every map has a couple. Well, except the ore maps, they have no hearts at all. So, alright, we're here. We cannot get that. Can we get left 4? And that one is 13 points out. So in here, we're helping tidy up the town. Telling the kids to do their chores. I'm a hero. Of course, they're going to listen to me. Right? Erasing the graffiti. Crushing wasp nests. Fortunately, nothing in the wasp nests. Ah, my level, so I got a greeting from my herald. It's part of the storyline. I don't actually meet them until like level 80. And then their disappointment. Killing the rats, because we don't want the rats
makes
to,
me right.
you know, spread disease and whatnot. Rat. Erase the invisible.
May Dwayna bless you.
Oh, that would be nice. Dwayna blessing me. Who doesn't want to get blessed by Dwayna? The XP buff is definitely a boon to leveling. There's a hero point over here we need. We're going to beat up the circus strongman, I think he is, if memory serves.
Step right up, carnival goers. Test your strength. You think I'm too old to kick your tail? Don't judge a drake by its snout. Beat me and take home a prize.
Got him.
Name rolls off the tongue and fills the cheeks with joy.
Yeah, I've always liked that name.
Not
Let's see,
too
do we
much
want this
though,
on the
right?
third row?
Like a nice name.
Fire fields created by weapon
Okay,
skills last
good.
longer whenever your fire fields hit a foe or inflict burning, gain increased strike damage. Yep. That's a fire field. That's not a fire field. I had no free.
You should join the Seraph
That
and go
is,
fight
okay.
centaurs. Girls love guys.
I would have assumed that dropping meteors on things' heads would be a fire field, but I would have assumed wrong. Pardon me? So in about an hour or so, I will be raiding another Guild Wars 2 streamer. ArenaNet partner, Cursed Cosplayer, Engelbert Meow. As she has a watch party going for the new ArenaNet documentary. And she'll be doing a giveaway. If you're interested in maybe getting lucky and getting some freebies, that's where I'll be going in about an hour. Let's see if we've got any centaurs over here. Doesn't look at Gelato. Tomorrow, during I believe it's during the Game Awards, it will be Twitch drops for Guild Wars 2. It's possible I'm mistaken, and not on the date, but on the required content. It may actually be that you have to watch a Guild Wars 2 stream. Not sure. But definitely there are drops. I will be broken. Oh, he crippled me. Jerk.
For the Tamini!
Centaurs, man. Let him go. Freeing him. Let's see if I can remember what the drops are. The second drop is a miniature companion, basically a pet. What would be a pet from, say, WoW? Of a little frost drake type deal. And the third one I know is a chef's outfit. I don't know. That's the heart complete. Sorry, I got the heart complete. No reason for me to free you, you poor slave. Hey, it's a hard world out there. Oh. Grab a POI here, as it's one I commonly forget to grab on my first go. I have to track it down afterwards. We'll head to the monastery / brewery. Don't do that. We'll start by pulling some grub tails. Oh, gotta pull the grub tail before you can kill the grub. That's just science. Everyone knows you've got to pull on the grub tail before it'll pop up and set it on fire.
Everyone, stop what you're doing and load the kegs. We've got a shipment to make.
You're not the boss of me. Grub tail. Disgruntled grub. I would be pretty disgruntled if I were a grub all the time when somebody was pulling my tail. We'll run over and let's do a beer test. It'll be delicious. At least I'll tell her it's delicious.
We never fight alone.
I would love to try it. Thanks. I think this will be a big hit. It's just delicious. She believed me. Come out here and we'll see if there are some centaurs for us to murder. There are. We'll go back in and we'll kill the grubs again. Maybe get one more drink of beer. More raptors than centaurs around. He dodged one of my attacks. The nerve!
Makes me right.
How did that miss? It wasn't even moving.
Might
And that's
makes
another
me
level.
right.
So what's that? 5 tonight? Oh, we got the event going. Let's.
Ah, a fresh horizon.
This will speed up. The heart completion is always serendipitous when you get a heart completion, or I mean, an event at the same time you're doing a heart completion. Just speeds it up, kind of double dipping. Yoink! Oh, let me res Historian Sophie. Heart complete. Waypoint. A Vista and a POI over here. We are now 64% done with the map. Let's see if we can get the whole event. Oh, I missed. No, I didn't miss. We'll see if we can get the map complete before we raid Engelbert Meow. Grab waypoint. Successful. Res these guys, as these should give us progress towards the heart. This is another one of those miserable hearts to complete. The contribution numbers need to be turned up. It's just bad. They just need to assign an intern to go through and just change a few numbers in a database somewhere. And change a few 4s to a 6. That kind. Because every time you do something in a heart area that is part of the heart activities, you get some percentage. When you get to 100, you've completed the heart. None of that should sound strange.
Whoever decided to station me at the swamp must really hate me. It's so humid I can feel my armor rusting.
But some of those values
better assignments if
very
you stop
outdated.
complaining.
We have a spear. Could swap onto spear and poke around at things. Level 21. Nah, I don't remember what the... Sure, let's try fire. I don't remember what fire spear abilities are. So bear with me if my killing stuff speed has suddenly decreased. Oh. This one's actually better. Ah, the other one went into my water skills. Because what used to be used to be spear was only a underwater skill. No, that wasn't. Pardon me, I'm just muttering to myself. I do that a lot.
If by neat you mean heart-stoppingly huge.
This is most remarkable.
I find that being muttery is something I do more often as I get older. Surprise, surprise. My suggestion to you guys is to just stay young. Things will be a lot easier if you just stay the age you are. You know, maybe a couple years added on or subtracted. I think you'd probably like that, but yeah, don't get old. I mean, the alternative to getting old, if you know you're
Might
like me,
makes me right.
would be being in the ground. And that's a non-starter. So my only choice, sadly, was to get old. Elementalist Spear feels pretty good so far. Not sure how much time I've spent on Elementalist Spear at all. You know, I spent a little bit of time on every Spear class since they added Spear in the previous expansion, Jam to the Wilds. How many points we got? 8 more. We can train that, but I'm not a big fan of that. Oh, I thought I trained that. I did not. Okay. We'll now have that. Bloop, there we go. I wanted two things when they were talking. When people were talking about, well, what are we going to get in this expansion that's coming out? I wanted two things. And I actually am on the record having said I would like land spears and housing. And we got both. Sadly, I'm not happy with the housing addition, as instead of being a fun addition, it's turned into a money sink. And that is a real loss. We need more just fun things and less in the way of money sinks. The design itself is good, very good. Of course, the competition's getting good too. The WoW implementation of housing just became available not long ago at all. Seems to be very, very good. I think the big mistake they made here was turning it into a money sink. Money and materials sink. You know, if the choice is using my materials to make a legendary, to allow me to do more quality of life stuff, that's a non-contest. That's a non-starter. Housing, it's going to or legendaries to improve my quality of life. The ability to swap on the fly is enormous value to me. Now, if I want to try out a new build, a different build that I'm using, it's fast, easy. The quality of life is just incredibly good. With legendaries. And so if the contest is between legendaries and housing, legendaries wins. That's why I don't think it was appropriate for housing to be turned into a money and materials sink. It's dumb. That thing's going to attack me anyway, isn't it? Pretty sure. Yep. The instant I start communing, boom. Housing should not have been turned into a choice as to whether you want to do housing use your money for doing housing stuff or use your money for other stuff. That's not the way it should have been. That's a big disappointment. Turned a feature I was gleeful to have added to the game. It's been a complete disappointment for me, personally. And this is one of the problems with this heart. Players running around trying to get kills on everything. See, for instance, me, I'm going to pull this thing over so this guy can finish it off. If he sees it over there. He didn't. And it healed up, so. I try to make sure that if there's anyone else around, they get hits on everything, so they get credit too. So one of the things the game does well is it encourages people.
Me right.
Oh, Party. Will speed things up. I take it back. We both get wax on things. That's a tortured spirit. Right, there's one of the green portals. Away. I'll make sure I get a whack on the Aksei. Talk to the tortured spirit. Turn away. Make sure he gets his hits too. So this is exactly the kind of gamer that I like seeing in the game, and it is exactly the right thing. We both know what we're doing. And we're sharing all of the targeted stuff so that we both get credit. And this will be all I need.
I'm greatness getting greater.
So, I mean, that is the kind of experience that makes the game, is what it has that I don't think any of the other games have. Even like now they've included open tapping in WoW. It's been around for a long time. But the entire Guild Wars 2 game design is kind of predicated on players
This is the only proper
playing
course.
together, even if they're not in groups, out in the open world. The way that guy and I just did. He tossed me an invite, make sure we both got credit for everything. Off we go. Awakened Invasion. Yeah, we took care of the Awakened Invasion. Thanks, dude. We already took care of that, man. Get with it. That's an invisible wall. I am going to grab this waypoint. And then I'm going to go up in the air so I can't get aggroed by anything stupid. I'm going to take just a minute to refill my coffee cup, and I'll be right back. I'll even remember to remove the AFK change. Well, this is always a better one to have under attack, and it makes finishing at this heart much faster if the area is under attack. Sadly, it ain't. Which means we kind of have to run around and grab the things that we can. When we can. Nope, nothing we can do with that.
Might makes me right.
The annoyance value of the hearts can vary quite widely. Some people's opinions too. Some people hate some of them and don't mind others. One we'll be doing in a minute. As an example, it's not one that's particularly difficult, time-consuming. It is, however, maybe the most boring heart. Oh, we're almost done. That went faster than I thought. There was enough stuff around for me to hit. Got it. Notice that some heart goal things are pretty easy. Some didn't seem to spawn any objectives after 15 minutes of standing around. It depends. It's not always obvious what they expect you to be doing. Also, it would be really good if they showed you when you were inside the area, or, I mean, they do show you when you're inside the area. It shows up there. But it would be really nice if... if they had a little more active notification when you've left the area. It can be easy to leave the area, the active area for the heart, and not notice that the heart icon like this little progress bar has vanished. Some of them are very easy and fast. Some of them are difficult and incredibly annoying. And sometimes, especially if there are other people around and you're all killing the same mobs, there aren't a lot of mobs around and they don't respawn quickly. Take out centaur camps, but you didn't find a single centaur within the range of the heart thing. Some of those, like if you were on this map, the killing out the centaur camps is over here.
Hello.
The heart is actually here, but the camp is all the way down here, is the actual camp. Now sometimes this will be under attack, and you can defend that, and you can get it done just in there because it's being under attack by the centaur. And the same thing is true here. But most of the time, this is the active camp. That right? Yeah. There's also then, I don't think it's far enough. There's also more camps down here, but I don't think that they are close enough to get credit for the heart that is here. So yeah, they can be pretty far away. In this case, I think the heart is shaped something like this. But you would have no reason to go down all the way down here and here. Because that, you might look at the heart and say, well, it's not going all the way down there. That's half a map away. That's one of the complaints is it's not obvious where the heart begins and ends. Now this heart is the one I described as the most boring one. You have to talk to the sergeant.
Remember, don't release your shot until the order is given.
Pick up a rifle. I just missed one round. Pick up a rifle and have a target targeted. You will say, aim. Say it.
Take aim.
You hold down the 1 key until he says fire. And he'll say, hold 1 to 3 times. That's it. You have to do it 8 or 9 times.
Hold.
That's 2. It's going to be 3. One more, and he'll say fire.
Fire.
And you'll see I got 1/8 or 9th
bad.
of the way down.
Not bad at all.
That's
Let's keep
all
at it.
there is to it. You will hold down one button for a few seconds, 8 or 9 times.
Take aim.
I've tried the others. I actually think this one is actually the fastest, although the others
Hold.
aren't bad, especially if you're a new player, to learn how to do things like
Hold.
block. Fire.
Hold.
Oh, it was 3 holds. Oh, my bad.
Fire.
I have
Not bad.
done this map
bad at
completion.
all.
I'm
Let's
going
keep
to
at it.
guess 150 times the whole map.
Take aim.
Well, maybe not the whole map.
Hold.
Maybe 100,
Hold.
because I've done so many characters,
Fire.
and on many of the characters,
Not bad.
you know,
Not
I have
bad at all.
almost all of the
Let's keep at
characters
it.
I've done this map. So I've optimized this map out pretty well.
Take aim.
And yeah, the training sword and the shield blocking ones, I think they just take more time. And since none of them are interesting, but this is, as I said, probably the most boring part in
Not
the
bad. Not bad at all. Let's keep at it.
The craft fair is a good place for a family gathering.
Oh, yes.
Take aim?
I think so
Take
too.
aim.
Maybe I should hold.
Hold.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Hold. Fire.
Yes.
Not bad, not bad at all.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's keep at it.
At one point, I was keeping track of how many times I had to hear hold.
Take aim.
And I believe on average, because it's 1 to 3, it should be 18.
Hold.
And I think the best I ever got was 12
Hold.
or 11. That's how many times I've done this. Let's keep at it. Exactly.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's keep at it.
It's just boring. There are ones that I hate. There are hearts that I despise.
Take aim.
And this isn't one. It's just, it's reasonably fast. It's obviously easy.
Hold.
But boy, is it
Hold.
boring. Fire?
Fire.
One more I think ought to do.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's keep at it. Take aim. Hold. Fire.
Nope, one more.
Not bad at all. Let's keep at it.
You jerk.
Take aim.
Hold.
Hold. Hold. Hold. Fire.
Part complete. We are 80% done with the map.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
We are 82% done with the map. No, only 81. We have a hero point. Sorry, a Vista over here. We have a hero point back with ogres. I think. Where we've got to get like some of their goo. And I don't think I want to go into any detail on what their goo might be. And we have to consume it. Which should provoke an ooh from just about everyone. Player. Vista. Here. Decay. And if we time, if we work our time, sounds right. We work our timing right, we should be able to get in, grab it, and get out without getting attacked. Especially if somebody's already killed the big guy. And somebody already has. Oh, no, he hadn't. It's Ert and Bert. I got the goo. I haven't eaten it yet. Or consumed or... Ew. There we are. Mmm. Whoops. 87% done. Why can I not? There we go. That is 90% done. We have another hero point up here. This one's actually a little dicey, although mine at level shouldn't be too bad. He spawns a couple. He spawns first, but he's invulnerable. Then he spawns a couple of goobers, and you're probably better off just killing the goobers first. As he's initially invincible, and they are too.
Wrong choice.
But he spawns before the two goobers do.
Might makes me right. I need a moment.
This guy.
Nothing can bring me down.
He knocked him back. For new players, do be careful out in the open world with your knockbacks. If you need them, because you're being attacked and you're close to death, go ahead and use them. But out in the open world, if you're around other people, try not to use them because knockbacks will knock the mobs out of everyone else's range. Particularly in large-scale open-world events. If everyone's wailing on, a champion mob, don't knock it back because everyone is going to unleash their big attacks on it and they're all going to miss because you just knocked it back. Please don't. I've done it occasionally. I've never been ripped a new one. I have. It's pot. Ooh, I think we're going to get Script Burglar.
Incoming.
He drops loot. And fortunately, he couldn't stand up to me. I'm too dangerous and deadly. Like the large-scale open-world events when they pop up. Yeah, I mean, that's the sort of thing that I think that nobody does anywhere near as well. They have the scaling generally pretty well tuned in. I am at 92%. What am I missing? I'm missing a hero point. A heart. Oh, he'll show me what I'm missing. Oh, right. The other Ettins. Duh. Put all this stuff away. And that stuff. We got a hammer for 321, which is an improvement. Boots we can't wear. A trident that is definitely an improvement. Legs we can't wear. Chest we can't wear. Spear gun that is not an improvement.
This is most remarkable.
Ooh, that sounded... Agent of Entropy, I have now. Right there, when you heard the little whoop sound, that was exactly 80,000 items I have salvaged in the game. 80,000. 80,000. That is 400 completions at 200 each. But yeah, the large scale, the meta events and stuff, world bosses. I really like the meta events. When they're done well, when they're really done well, they are just a blast. All right, we've got a hero point, a POI, and a heart. I think there's a second POI, I'm not sure. they got a veteran chieftain. Didn't mean to pull him, if I'm the one who pulled him. Must have been.
Nothing can bring me down.
Let's drop some fireballs on these guys. I did level up again. I like leveling up, not gonna lie. We can go in here and we can grab the hero point challenge thing. I am over leveled. These guys, I mean, I'm scaled down to level 15. I'm level 28, scaled down to 15. But yeah, it's, if you have a level appropriate weapon, the fire, just straightforward fire, is going to be sufficient to really do them up a tree. Historically, the reason I started my first character, or my main initially in the game, was an elementalist, and Dagger Fire Elementalist was just so much fun. Now, at that point in the game, Elementalist was very, very fragile. It's better now, but it was very, very fragile. I spent so much time laying on the ground. That eventually I found myself playing my Guardian more, simply because he was a lot more survival. And my Guardian is now my main, functionally. At least as close as I'm going to have to having a main. We got all of them? Yeah, we need respawns. Or talking to the Ettins. Can't talk to all of the Ettins. Some of the Ettins don't want to talk to me. Don't know why. I'm a nice guy. Okay, I'm an okay guy. Tried playing Warrior and it's fun, if not a bit simple for the time being. Yeah, at lower levels, I would agree, certainly the easiest and obvious straightforward way is to go with what is often referred to as the Unga Bunga. Basically, just taking the biggest, strongest, obvious whacks. We are at wrong button, right button. 98%. The only thing we're missing is one POI, and I saw that it was to the west. And I think it is the Hilltop Centaur camp. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Where am I? Which one did I miss? Oh, no, I missed the one where the Ents are. Warrior is my least played. So I can sympathize with exactly those reasons. I would say that Warrior and Elementalist are the two ones that get played by new characters the most. So it's certainly not a bad thing to make sure that, at least, that the Warrior is relatively straightforward initially. The elite specializations give them more options. Also with Warrior, the fact is that you have so many weapon options, it can be tough to figure out what you enjoy because there's like 20 different combos. You can't really just, play a little and figure it out. You kind of actually have to play them a chunk. But as I said, it's my least played, so I sympathize. A lot of times, a lot of people will feel the same way about Ranger. That it's, pretty straightforward. A lot of people will assume that it is extremely straightforward and they'll want to play, longbow. And the longbow is situational. in Ranger. It's really good for some stuff and not very good at all for other stuff. But again, that's another one that's going to get a lot of the new players. Also, I mean, taming your pets is also a fun thing you can do with Rangers. Oh, yeah. I think my second most played character is my Reaper, which was the first of the elite specializations for Necro. Necro is also easy to level. You build him as a minion mancer, where all of your 6 through 0 skills are the minion skills, and you keep them out. And as long as you keep them alive, they will. A lot of mobs will attack them instead of you. You also have what amounts to a second health bar if you swap into the Shroud form, which basically takes you from sort of a regular kind of a mage into an actual sort of undead figure for a length of time. Your Shroud will slowly go down over time and as you take damage, and then you'll convert back to your regular shape. The Reaper is a melee version of Necromancer that specializes in using a greatsword. And it's very, very survivable. And I've played an enormous amount of Necro as well. Generally, Necro is not... The Minion Mancer is great for leveling. It is not so great for endgame play. Although maybe it certainly should be better now with Ritualists, the new elite specialization. But generally, minions are, with one exception, the elite minion skill is good. But the others are not that great. Occasionally, one of them will make it into a build for a specific reason.
Shooting range next to a tavern?
Here we go. We have finished the map, and we'll now get our map rewards. We have about a 1 in 3 or 30%, I'm not sure which it is, chance of getting a key for a lockbox. And no. Instead, we have a transmutation charge, of which I have 1,500. So if I seem a little unenthused, that would explain why.
Target destroyed.
All fantasy, if you ask me.
We have managed 7 levels tonight. Not done yet, quite. I do want to check on one thing, and then I will log in my festival character, and we'll do a little bit of the festival.
Have a right to grow.
That's all I needed.
I have a Jolly Winter's Day gift, which has 3 Winter's Day gifts, which we will pass along, and 26 snowflakes, which is the currency. A lot of people will use the festivals to make a lot of money. This is not like the most money you can make, but this is a festival where you can get another one of the currencies. Karma, you can rack up an enormous amount of karma if you're willing to put in some time. Karma can then be converted in other methods into gold as well. I got 12. Let's check fire. Go to there. Let's see. Pyromancer's Puissance. Gain might for any skill when attuned to fire. Fire attunement, fire. Okay, yeah, probably. Inferno. I think that one just got nerfed. But I think we want it anyway. The nerfage. So we'll go ahead. And there we go. Points. Glyph, we can go ahead and drop 4 into Glyph of Renewal, and that'll open up. Then we'll be able to get the elite skill. So we'll drop that too. Sure, why not? I'm now going to check on one thing really fast. Bear with me for just a second. Okay. Thing checking is completed. That sounds dirty. Let's pretend I didn't say that. I will log out to character select. We will hop on to Laxi Grave Ponder, one of my Necros. Can't remember which elite spec she's in right now. I think she's still spec'd into Minion Mancer from when I was leveling her. Harbinger, maybe? Not sure. Yeah, she's still a Necro or a Minion Mancer. So this is the setup you would have on your 6 through 0 for leveling up a Necro in a hurry. And let's see, she is trained in both a Scourge and a Ritualist. So I did train her in Ritualist and a little bit into Harbinger. Let's see what the dailies are for the festival. Dash and complete the race event. I'll do that. I'm standing right by the place where it starts. Get wrapped gifts. No, I don't like doing that.
Well met.
3 daily achievements. To Apocalypse. The Winter Day presents. Damn it, I don't think it'll be easy. Anyway, I will right now. I will finish. This is the race. You can, I think, inexpensively rent a temporary mount if you don't have the mount. I am going for speed. Mount up. I am not good at this race. I can get the gold medal sometimes, but that does not mean I am good. I have friends who are very good at it, including Engelbert Meow, who we will be joining shortly. In about 20 minutes or so, she is doing a watch party for the new ArenaNet documentary, and she'll be giving away stuff. Also, she's an awesome streamer. Bonk. Yeah, don't bonk into things is one of the keys when you're racing. This is the Roller Beetle.
Born inside these walls. Probably going to die trapped inside them.
Hey, I managed to avoid that lamp. Engelbert Meow wishes she could avoid that lamp. Oh, I talked crap.
No.
She's a way better racer than I am. I'm kind of crap at least at this mount. Oh, don't miss. I was going to miss. I would like to say I intentionally ran into that to make sure I didn't miss. So I will. I'll say that. It's a lie, but I'll say it. Yeah, I intentionally ran into that so I wouldn't miss. I think we'll be good enough for a gold, but it's not going to be anywhere near a personal best. Did I? Yeah, I did. Did I? I did. And 158. Actually, that's not bad at all. My personal best is 154, so I think I did like a 158 yesterday, too. Got a drop. Thank you very much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Beetle Master. Here's my friend Engelbert. You'll note my time was 154. Her best time was 126. I told her and Jukebox, who she was racing with last night, they were going to break 130. I was right.
It was bigger than me, and it said, "Woof."
So we get Winter's Day gifts. And boxes filled with Winter's Day gifts. We also have some free gifts waiting for us. That wasn't a bad time for me at all. My personal best was 4 seconds faster, which is obviously better. But given the rough start that one had, that wasn't bad at all. This guy also will give you a freebie. And then there are a bunch of vendors that you can use the currency for to buy mostly cosmetic stuff.
What can I do for you?
all I got out of that was the boxes stuff. So we have 2 personalized. Those are the higher quality ones. That's the stuff you can get in them. This is an example, the one you get in lots. A lot of people will just sell these and make a lot of gold over the course of, I think, 28 days this time for the festival. Normally it's like 22, 21.
Hello.
So you're always going to get some of this stuff. You might get some of these. You'll occasionally get one of these. And if you're me, you'll never, ever, ever get any of those. But some of these sell for hundreds or even thousands. We'll start with the 2 good boxes. No, we'll save the 2 good boxes.
May Balthazar strengthen you.
Open the boxes. Yep, all we got was snowflakes, tonics, which are temporary cosmetic changes. And I don't think this sells for anything. Maybe to a vendor. Yeah, no one's interested in buying those. Get 2 of them. Sell those to a vendor.
Stay calm. Stay alert.
And we'll bank the snowflakes. We got 2 personalized ones left. No joy. Mini gift script. Oh, I already have that one, but that's cool. A little surprising. That's, I think, one of the rares.
Standing by for input.
And here's what it looks like. It's a mini. Pretty big compared to my character.
I am ready to interface.
Not available at the trading post for sale. Anyone buying that? 10 silver is the price, but instead I'm going to send it to a friend who may not have it.
Small talk initiated. Hot enough for you?
In fact, I'm also going to throw in the mini tiny snowball and the mini tiny angry
with
snowball,
all basic social
just in case she doesn't have it.
Hello.
Let's do the jumping puzzle. And by let's, I mean I. Give me just a sec. Check.
Stay calm.
There are a number of different activities you can do. Oh, got another personalized present. Clearly, this one is going to have the fat loot I've been waiting for my whole life. No, it's not. No, it's not. So there's a jumping puzzle for the Winterfest. And it has 3 paths. And because I'm old and crap at games, I take the easy path. The left path is the difficult one. The middle path is the medium one. And the right path is the easy one. I had never known until someone commented yesterday. It was EBM. I think it was Engelbert, my friend. That's where we're heading. Okay, there's the gingerbread man there. The snowman there. And oh, and the Quaggan over here. Okay. Yeah. So this is the Quaggan one, so it's the easiest. The other ones, when you jump on the snowflakes, they fall away after a second. The difficult one, they fall away much faster. But these ones don't fall away at all. We take a little bit of damage over time as we're running through it. But realistically, for me, most of the time, I mean, every once in a while I'll miss a jump and fall. Usually on these 2 parallel candy canes, which are a jumping puzzle mechanic that I always have problems with. For whatever. Normally, the only place I'm likely to fail is the final Christmas present steps. We'll see when we get to that section of the jumping puzzle. That is the final area. So, I have a sneeze coming. Come on. It's coming. I know you're in there. Come on. No, it's shy. I'm going to wait one more. I find I have problems if there's too many people going at the same time. You basically want to go right up the middle. And it's easy to fail this part, even someone who has done it dozens of times. There are some gaps where you can actually fall. Yay, victory. I should make it the rest of the way. And now, having said that, I will fail. I failed. I jumped too soon and hit the collision box on the snowball. Means, here we go again. That person missed. I got a little bit ahead of myself and jumped too soon and caught the tail end of the snowball's collision box and plummeted to a painful and cold death. I'll walk it off or jump it off. And now, this time I predict I will fail on the Stairway of Presence. And he's buying a stairway of presence. There's a fire here, so you get a heal over time commensurate with the damage. All right, we're going to be going again. Here we go. Okay. Succeeded at that.
Attack fast!
Whoop, 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 whoop. That was close. Oh, we didn't want to catch the tail end again. That would be embarrassing. Making the same mistake once. Oh no! I've never failed like that before. Congratulations. I'm glad you got to see that. There was an area attack about to hit that spot, so I stopped and slid off the edge. I'm really not sure how I did that, but I did it. People at home are now taking bets. Will Lynn succeed in round 3? I got this, guys, I promise. Almost. Almost missed that second jump there. Whoop. Eek. Now I'm getting all antsy about not screwing it up again. Give me a moment here to rest. Cuddles McNuggets is here with me. Well, I can't let him down. Okay. Seriously. Attack! I never have this problem. Now I'm being like hyper cautious. You can see the red rings that are appearing around. Like that one. Whoops. So I'm going to head back because there were snowballs coming. Whoops, again. Now I'm just gacking. This is some majorly gacking going on. I don't want to fail again, so I'm gacking it up. I should be okay. Should be. At it the whole way. First time, deathless. Whoop. That's the easy one. Thank you. And there are a number of, countless numbers of achievements for festivals. Mostly they were cosmetics or currencies for cosmetics. Five snowflakes out of that. Return. No, don't believe. Whew, 3 times, man. The old man's getting old. Too late. Okay, come on. There we go. Check on something really quick. I am going to raid my friend Engelbert Meow now. I want to thank all of you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate it very, very much. I should be back tomorrow at my usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, middle of the night in Europe. Morning in Asia, Australia, and New Zealand, probably with more Guild Wars. Before and after, I'm going to be watching the Game Awards. Not that I care, but because there are drops for various games, and I do care about those. I will probably be back here playing this again. But I'm not positive. You know, I can change my mind if I want to. It's an old man's prerogative. Again, I want to thank you guys for hanging out. Appreciate it very, very much. I'm going to raid Engelbert Meow. Hopefully you'll see me soon. I hope the rest of your Wednesday night or Thursday morning go great. Let me get that raid started. Search Engelbert Meow. She's gotten like 23 out of my last 24 subscriptions, monthly Prime subscriptions, because EBM's awesome. I will start that raid. Again, I will say thank you guys very, very much for hanging out. Back again tomorrow. Hope the rest of your evening, morning, afternoon, choose one, goes great. Take care, and ciao for now. Bye, guys.